Hey guys, want to take a quick break to give a shout out to our newest affiliate, BetUS. BetUS is one of the pioneers in the legal online sports betting industry, providing a safe and secure place for sports wagering to more than 1 million clients.
Yeah, man, I'm actually really happy to be affiliated with BetUS. I mean, as you know, dude, we've been gambling for a long time.
Yeah, with the predictions we're making out here, man, we gotta see if we can back it up.
I gotta back
money,
that. We're gonna back it up, absolutely. Looking at their interface and how they do sports gambling in general, so hassle-free.
Dude,
it's really easy to just make a bet, whether you're doing money line props or predictions, futures. You know, who's gonna win the World Cup, for example. They make it super easy to make that bet.
If you sign up now, be sure to take advantage of their exclusive 125% sign-up bonus on your first deposit of at least $100. And if you use cryptocurrency to deposit, you can redeem a whopping 200% bonus of up to $2,500. Be sure to use the promo code JOIN125. I'll repeat that one more time. That's JOIN125. That will really help us support the channel, just keep our videos going. Make sure to gamble responsibly and have fun. Group A has Ecuador, Netherlands, Qatar, and Senegal.
What do you think about this group, man? Because when I was looking at when the draw, okay, actually, first of all, man, I was so focused on all of the World Cup cycle games.
Yeah,
it was literally like 2-3 days before that I realized the draw was on Friday.
Dude, yeah. I feel like a lot of the football world was like that.
Yeah,
everyone was stunned by how eager they were to do this draw.
Yeah,
I think this group. What I think about this group is that I think it's representative of the whole tournament itself. The whole tournament is set up to be very well contested.
Yeah.
And this group is no different. This group has that.
It's wide open, in my opinion.
Wide openness. Let's talk about Qatar.
Yeah.
Qatar, who's hosting this tournament. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of Qatar fans were hoping that they would get like an easy draw, something to really, you know, give them a fighting chance. But they've been set up with a group where they're going to have to fight for the position in that second slot. But
yeah,
they're coming off an AFC Cup victory. They've performed at the Copa America and Gold Cup.
Yeah, so they've been getting in their games.
Yeah, they're active.
They're preparing like crazy. Honestly, probably one of the more impressive preparation for any sort of host country I've seen. Because I remember Brazil, they just did friendlies like throughout the world, just trying to get in their games in. But nothing like what Qatar is doing. Same with Russia. They just played a bunch of obviously other European teams, but Qatar is trying to play across the whole globe.
Yeah.
Not only just these friendlies, but these competitive settings.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've had their long Spanish coach, Felix Sanchez, who's been really just hyping up this team by the football that they play, really setting a style. And honestly, I think they have the talent. The Qatar Stars League is a good league in the Middle East. They've set the tone for the last decade when, you know, they've been trying to buy as many best players as they can, try and get the best coaches. And honestly, it's working. Like the domestic players in Qatar are playing at a very high level. Yeah, and they're not playing in Europe really, but they can compete, honestly, I think, against most teams. Obviously, you know, play against like a Belgium, you play against a Brazil, it's going to be tough for them, but I think they can really compete. Yeah. I really do. So I'm excited for this host team, man. Like, just to kind of remind me of 2018, dude, my expectations for Russia were so low, and we saw what they did. So I'm always on the host side, man. No matter how low they are of a level or how high they are, I'm so excited to see this Qatari team. And they play off in that first opening game against Ecuador, man.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I think I'm fascinated by just how weird this matchup is, how rare it is to think about seeing an Ecuadorian team face off against Qatar in a competitive setting. And I'm excited because Ecuador has such a cool fan base. It's big. It reminds me a lot of like Colombia, even similar flags too.
Yeah.
It's very passionate people.
Yeah.
You saw it that last qualifying match against Argentina, where it was a packed home game for the Ecuadorians, and they just took it to those Argentinians. And so I think it'll be a good clash because there's going to be Ecuadorians in attendance for sure. That game has atmosphere written all over it.
And we've said it before. I've been so impressed by this Ecuadorian team. Arguably probably one of like the more underrated teams just in general out of the 32 teams that are here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably aren't going to rate them just solely because of the players that they have. Largely unknown, but they still have some really, really good players.
Yeah.
Plata, Hincapié, I think some of the players that you've highlighted before. I'm really excited about this team. But what really, really impressed me was not only their style of play, but how consistent they were able to be and get results in an 18-game qualifying cycle. It's so impressive. And yet here they are opening the tournament.
Dude, yeah.
And what I love about this matchup is that Ecuador have a perfect opportunity to just go at it.
Yeah.
From the get-go, the whole world is going to be on this opening game because it's the first game of the tournament, obviously. And Ecuador have an incredible opportunity to just go crazy.
Yeah.
Play an incredible match and just basically show out. See what they can do.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on them. It's not like they're Argentina, Brazil. Even Uruguay probably has more pressure on them to succeed. If you're an Ecuadorian fan, you're just like, hey, I'm happy to be here.
Dude, yeah, it's like a squad of just bandits. You know, like they're just this makeshift team. It's so much youth. That's the thing. If you've been following this team for years now, the qualifying cycle has been so long. If you follow them for all these years, if you had known that they would be the team that opens up the tournament, I feel like at first you would have been a little scared.
Yeah.
But to see how this team has grown year in, year out, to achieve what they achieved, get third place in Conmebol, and do it with good football.
Yeah, and a little bit of flair and excitement, man.
They've
One
been
of my favorite teams to watch.
Yeah, they've been handed like the responsibility of like a Brazil, Argentina to show up on the biggest stage and represent South American football.
And maybe not in like the exact passion or style of how it was for Peru in 2018, but actually Ecuador are probably my favorite South American team going into 2022 because they kind of give me that magic vibes that Peru gave me in 2018. Ecuador are giving me those same vibes, and I'm behind this team completely.
Yeah.
Now again, there's still Senegal and Netherlands waiting in this fucking group, dude. So Senegal, current African champions. They obviously, just when you look at their team sheet, they're going to be better than Qatar and Ecuador, right? But I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said about the Senegal team. They had to scrape by a very, very gritty Egyptian side and what was basically just a continuation of the AFCON final over these two legs. An insane tie. I can't believe they went to penalties again against Egypt, man. Insane, honestly. Heartbreaking if you're Egyptian. Heartbreaking to lose on penalties again. And for Salah to actually take a penalty this time, but still not deliver.
Thoughts on the whole laser incident that happened? That was a big talking point for people after this game.
Dude, it looked like they were in a club.
They're the fucking EDM, bro. They have a fucking EDC festival
just
or some
going
shit.
Crazy, man.
Thing is, it happened in both stadiums.
It did. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to think about it. At that point, CAF just has to get involved. It's up to them to fix it. I mean, because it's just not going to get fixed otherwise. Yeah. It's just going to always happen.
It was just, I've never just seen it that over the top.
That's it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
I've seen it like in Liga MX games where it's a little bit, but it's not enough to have an impact on the game. And I don't know if it did have an impact. We don't know. I don't know if any of the players have come out and like stated like the lasers fucked with me.
Right.
But I did see way more than I've ever seen before. And I'm just like,
dude,
okay, there's got to be security that sees a guy just pointing the laser somewhere. Like that's got to be like within viewing distance. Stop that guy.
I was like, dude, if FIFA really wanted to, they could let in all of these 10 African teams in the World Cup and they'd all compete.
Yeah.
They would all 10 of them compete. Because African football, I think, is at that level now where even that mid-tier team, they're very, very competitive. So I was like, I think it makes sense that like 4 out of the 5 matchups were incredibly tight.
That's Senegal who is going to be in this situation. And that's the thing. They had to scrape by Egypt. And I'm questionable about how this team can handle teams from other federations.
You know what's funny? When that game ended, first off, I was just in shock because like I can't believe this went to penalties over 2 games. I can't believe it. But what was funny is I remember saying to myself, I was like, you know, it's weird. Usually a team who wins through penalties to get to a tournament, I'm like, they're probably going to struggle. I oddly think Senegal are going to have a good tournament.
Why is that?
I think they can honestly match up against any team. And the reason why I say that is because I just think they faced a really, really talented Egyptian side. That first game in Cairo, Egypt played the best football I've ever seen them play. I was like, damn, if they play like this over 120 minutes, then they're going to the World Cup. Obviously, going back to Senegal is a little bit tougher for them, as it is going to be for any team going on the road. But I just think Senegal played a really good team. I mean, Egypt were they were runners up in Africa. You could say the second best team in Africa. Unfortunately, they had to play the best team in Africa, and I think that's why it was that close. So, yes, Senegal scraped by result-wise, but honestly, I think it was just because they played against an incredibly good team, which means that if they can beat, obviously barely, but if they can compete against a very, very good side, I think they can compete against a Qatar. I think they can compete against an Ecuador. And ultimately, I can't wait for that game when they play the Netherlands, because I think that'll dictate where Senegal really are. And the thing is, no matter what, I think this Senegal team can match up against the Netherlands. I honestly think Senegal can match up against most teams. Their back line is so formidable, so solid. And then, of course, their front line of Mane, whether it's Famara Diédhiou, Keita Balde if he plays, Ismail Assar, who goes in and out of games, but when he's in the game, he's deadly. I think Senegal can threaten any team on any given day. So I think Senegal can do well, man. I really do. And the thing is, I think a lot of people are going to have that opinion of like, they're just not convincing me. And obviously they're not they're not dominating these games. They're not playing high-flying football. I'll agree to that. But I think they just have a system set up where they're just never going to play that way, but I think they're going to keep every single game tight. And ultimately, I think they're going to do better than in 2018. I think they're going to be right there to go to the next round in this World Cup.
Okay, I'm questionable because I just don't know. I can never know what Senegal team is going to show up. I don't. The thing is, I do to your credit, Senegal never truly struggled in the AFCON. Like, they never got ran over.
Yeah.
They were always good enough to stay in the game. And so I do give them credit for that. But I don't think that that'll be enough in a tournament like the World Cup to just stay in a game. Because you got to, at some point, you have to take over. You have to dictate pace. Can they do that against the Netherlands? I don't know. I know that names-wise, they do match up. They have
names-wise, they do. But
so for me, it just comes down to, on that day, will they show up or will they be a little shaky? Will the chemistry not be there?
Right.
Because that's going to prove and determine whether if they can handle themselves against a team as strong as the Netherlands or Ecuador or even Qatar for that matter. Like, who shows up? But if they show up, that team could make a deep run, and they could be the African team that makes the best run in this tournament. They definitely are a candidate for that because of what they have right now going for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. You are right in that sense. So, for example, playing against a team like Netherlands, I have Netherlands actually topping this group just from a little too soon type of prediction. But I think this Netherlands team, they're really good. They're playing really attractive football. Topping their group, obviously, in European qualification. They're back, man. After a weird cycle after 2014, this Netherlands team is completely back, playing really entertaining football. And ultimately, even against a feisty Qatar or against a really, really formidable Senegal team, I think the Netherlands are going to, I don't want to say easily, but I do almost want to say easily top this group. I really do. But for me, that leaves open that second spot.
Yeah. I'm going to give a little bit of a hot take here.
Yeah.
But I think when people talk about dark horses, you always hear Belgium. You always hear Portugal. For me, it's Netherlands this year, man. For me, it's Netherlands this year. Netherlands, notoriously known for being able to, they tend to like overachieve at World Cups. They've gone to three finals. Man. 3 finals. And never won, but they've gone to 3 finals. And this is a pretty small nation as well. But they've managed to just exceed expectations and make deep runs in these tournaments. This Netherlands team is way different from what we've seen. It's completely reconstructed because we haven't seen them in 8 years now. It's a completely new squad.
Completely.
And I like them as a dark horse candidate. I like them as a potential semifinal and further team. They could surprise, man. They got Virgil van Dijk, De Jong in the midfield, Depay up front.
De Ligt at the back alongside Van Dijk.
Wijnaldum.
Insane.
No, the team has an incredible amount of talent. They've got enough to make that type of run. So I think they top this group. I don't know if easily, but I think they top it. I think that you think easy.
I do think easy. I really do. Just because, and I've said it before, and I'll gladly say it again. I just don't think, for example, Ecuador played really good football, but I just think that European football is at a completely different level now. Than in recent past.
It's tough to I think to measure that right now.
And we're gonna find out at this World Cup, which I cannot wait.
Our only measure of that is the last World Cup, but I feel like the teams that were there are so different from what we have now,
Dude.
man. Like, there's just really no clear indication. All we can go with is just with the quality that we're seeing in UEFA right now, club level, how highly they're playing, the level that they're playing at. I think that's the best indication that Europe is here for a fucking dominant run this time around.
I think so, man. But to that point, it's interesting because you could look at all of these European teams, and a lot of them, in my opinion, have really improved. Obviously, the Netherlands, because they didn't even qualify last time, so they're a completely improved team. But you could look at other teams. I think Serbia, who were in 2018, they're better. They're completely better now. Switzerland, who made an incredible run in the Euros just last year, I think they're going to be deadly and really tough to play. England, I think they're more experienced. I think they're better. It's a lot of the same players. I just think they're more in form. I think they're playing at a higher level, every single one of them.
Germany.
Exactly.
Keep going, man.
Germany were, honestly, even going up to that tournament, I thought they were a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they'd not get out of the group stage. I thought they'd still get out, but they ended up not getting out. But now looking at them now, I'm just like, dang, okay, well, they're good now. Yeah. And Spain were good in 2018. They're really good now.
They're not getting upset in the round 16 this time, man.
Yeah, I know. They have a much bigger identity, and we'll get to that when we talk about them. But ultimately, I look at every single European team compared to 4 years ago, and I'm just like, damn, dude, every single one of them improved. To that point, though, I think a lot of other teams, we could look at CONCACAF, we could look at South America, look at this Ecuadorian side. I think a lot of teams have improved too. Yeah. But I just think the Europeans have gone just maybe a step further.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll dig deeper in that when we talk about like Brazil, Argentina, all these other teams. Yeah. But so that's who you got in first place for Group A.
Yeah.
Just the biggest and probably the biggest question of this group is who gets second. Who lands in that second spot? As we mentioned, it's wide open.
It is.
A way too early prediction.
What would you say?
I think Ecuador does it, dude.
Yeah?
I think Ecuador does this. Yeah. I think they have enough to be able to face off against a Senegalese team. And as I mentioned, if the right Senegal team shows up, I still don't think they take over or dominate Ecuador. Ecuador's too good, man. They have experience playing against Argentina and Brazil, and they've shown me as a viewer that they got the chops to handle a team as big as Senegal. I just see the talents of Hincapié, Plata in that midfield having a fucking field day.
Yeah.
And maybe giving this team, Caicedo, giving this team and all those Ecuadorian fans a run for the second place and qualifying to the round of 16 through possibly a defeat of Senegal. And also it's a question of who performs best against Netherlands too. Maybe one of these two teams get a tie out of here. Yeah. I see Ecuador potentially getting that because they've shown they can get ties against some of the biggest squads in the nation in CONMEBOL.
Exactly. Great point. I think my only consideration for Ecuador not being in the second place is, can they face up against a very, very physical side in Senegal? And ultimately, I'm going to say no. I think Senegal's, like I said, their backline, their midfield, it is very defensive-minded. It's very, very physical. I don't know if Ecuador are used to that, I'm going to be completely honest. And usually when I see teams who are pacey, who rely on flair and speed,
of course,
I always see them get trumped by strength. Strength, or not just strength, but strength with high IQ. Yeah. And when you have the players that Senegal have, they play at a very, very high level in Europe. Yeah. And they're able to use their positioning, their space. They use it really well. And I think ultimately I have Senegal in second place. So I have Netherlands, Senegal. Love to see Qatar somehow be in that mix, man. Because I mean, ultimately they'll probably finish fourth. Like if you just go based off of just statistics and what they're aimed to do. But man, obviously host nation can always do something special. Would love to see Qatar in that second spot. Honestly, I'd rather Qatar be up there, but I think Senegal's gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you think Ecuador gets last place?
I think they get third or fourth. Yeah.
I think Qatar gets last.
Yeah,
I think they get last.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think it's honestly the most realistic scenario. Yeah, I just would love it if they pulled off second. I love it, man.
Yeah, no, of course.
And I'll be praying
I think everyone would, because man, those fans are already starting to show based off how I saw a lot of the Qatar fans react to the draw. Yeah, very passionate people. Like
it's awesome.
It's great to see, and so they're happy that they're hosting this tournament, and we'll see if they can make a deep run. But for now, we got Netherlands, and I got Ecuador, and you got Senegal.
I got Senegal. Yeah.